I don't even know what to say. It's just so great.
Great.
Yeah.
How are you doing?
I'm good, thanks. That's a nice little studio you got.
Yeah, isn't it? We're improving all the time, from Zoom interview to Zoom
Right.
interview. We try to improve. But that looks quite nice. And I was like, Zara Larsson, the most beautiful woman on earth, will be in their Zoom interview. I need some light into my face.
Right. I also got some light. I haven't had that for a long time. But now when I'm here in London, they were like, we can get you a light. And I was like, yes, please.
Yeah.
So, oh,
All smooth. It's all pretty.
thank you.
So, how are you coping with quarantine? You're still quarantining yourself, aren't you?
Yeah. Yeah. I actually have a friend staying here with me, also a really, really good chef, because I don't cook. So that's perfect. But it's a little boring. I mean, I'm just like, I have nothing really to wake up to. That's why I'm actually excited to, like, when I have Zoom interviews, or like when no, honestly, like when I have something I have to do, it feels like I have a purpose to leave bed. Because if not, I'll just like stay in bed all day. And I don't think that makes you feel really good, like,
No.
inside. So, but I try to go out. I have a cute little terrace. I am in London, so it's not the best weather, but it's just nice to be out a bit at least. But I'm having fun. Yeah, I can't wait until this is over, and I can just keep working.
Yeah. So is it like, are you the kind of type, I've talked to a lot of musicians, they're like, I've got so much time, I've got no pressure, I'm the most creative I've ever been. And I'm like the opposite. I'm like, I need some motivation. If I don't have my routine and day-to-day life, I'm like, just as you said, I don't have anything to wake up to. I don't have to stand
Nothing
up.
to do, nothing to like motivate you, exactly like you say. I find it really, really hard, actually, and I am a person who is in desperate need of routines. Like you said, I need to like wake up, have breakfast, do something, have lunch, go here. Like if I don't do that, then my brain is just like, what?
Yeah.
So I spend a lot of times watching Netflix and HBO and everything that you can stream movies on. I've seen a lot of movies, but I haven't been very creative, honestly.
Okay.
And that's okay too. Like sometimes that makes me feel bad. It makes me like, oh no, I'm not being productive. Like I'm such a bad person, or like I'm a bad artist. But that's not true. Like your worth isn't tied to how productive you are. So I also just allow myself to not do anything, because I haven't done nothing in a long, long time, if ever.
You're still having your album on the way, don't you? Do we have a title, or a working title at least?
We do. I don't know if I can say it. I know, right?
So if you still can decide on the album title, how far are we done with the album? Is it done already, or is it just like 90% done, or how far are we with the album?
We have all the songs. We just have to like mix and master all of them. But when it comes to like the cover and the title and like everything creative around the packaging of the album, we have just a tiny bit to go.
So almost there. Does it mean that it's still coming this year, the album? Yes.
Yeah, definitely this year. Yeah.
So I can imagine, and you tweeted it, that you need some time to make your second album perfect, because it's the second album.
Yeah, the
The
pressure.
first album is, I don't know, you were the our most streamed female artist newcomer album, and now 3 years pass and you have the second album on the way. How much pressure is there?
Oh, a
on
lot.
the second album?
A lot. But mainly because, I think it's only natural. I think everybody would feel this way, especially now when because when you release your first album, of course you want it to be really well received, but you don't have anything to compare it to. And now I just have really high, and my fans probably have really high expectations. And a lot of people also think, including myself sometimes, I have to like stop myself, because the quality of the songs and how good an album isn't really like the value of the album is so down to like how many sales you'll do, or like how is it charting? How is it, being received?
Yeah.
And I think that's the nerve-wracking part, because you never know. Like you don't know how things are gonna go. Like now I have Wow out, that I'm kind of promoting, and that was a song that's like a year and a half old, and now's the time for it, which is so unexpected. Like music is so unexpected, and you just literally never know. Sometimes you release a song and you might think this is a hit, and it's not doing it. Like it's not getting the place that you think it deserves. And then other times it's like something you never thought would be a hit just like blows up.
Yeah.
So I think that's like, I just wonder how people are gonna receive it. I think that's the nerve-wracking part for me, because I am really proud of the work.
Is the value of your album based on how much, as you just said, how it's topping in the charts, how it's selling, or are you fine with it maybe not meeting the expectations, but really being...
Yeah, I mean, I think, and of course I want it to be just as well received as my other album, but like I won't cry myself to sleep if it's not. I'm still doing what I love every single day. I'm having a really, really good time at my work. I get to perform live and all that, but as a mainstream pop artist, of course I want as many people as possible to listen to my songs, and I want as many people as possible to come to my shows when we can finally do that, and dance to it on the radio, or like listen to it in their cars or with their friends. Like I would love that. I can't lie. I think every artist would love that, because if I didn't care about it at all, I wouldn't be here with you doing promotion. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, I think that's a part of the job, at least for me.
How do you cope with all those expectations you have yourself on the album, and all those expectations the fans do have on your album? And how do you stop yourself from being your biggest critic and from being so hard on yourself? Can you stop yourself sometimes?
You know what? I always listen to so many of my songs before I release them. But once they're out, I'm like, I can't do anything now. They're out and they're in the world, floating around in the universe for people to enjoy. So, it is what it is. But before that, I listen to my songs all the time, and I'm like, what could I change? What could be better? What do I like about it? Because I'm not going to be a critic when it comes to like sales. Like I can't do anything about that. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like, okay. Yeah. And you kind of remind yourself also that, believe it or not, music can change the world. I agree with that. It can change people's lives. But it's also like, it's just pop music. You know what I mean? If it's not going so well, it's fine. You're going to live.
Yeah.
Like, Yeah. But I think about it a lot, and I think about my album a lot, and I want it to be just as good as it could possibly be. But also, if it's not, then let's move on. Let's do a new album. Like, that's just how I see it. Let's just make it better.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. But it's good that you can do it like that and not being totally wasted or being totally depressed or something like that.
Yeah, because I can see how that could happen. Like with people, just how, in whatever field you work in or whatever you do, like if it's not going the way you expected it to, it's okay to be a little sad. But I'm young. Like sometimes I forget that myself. Sometimes I feel like I'm really, really old, and I'm like, oh gosh, I'm not like young anymore. And then I'm like, I'm 22. What do you mean? Like my life is just starting. So I have time. I'm good.
So what can we expect from the album? Will it be the Zara Larsson we know, the poppy, sassy Zara Larsson we know? And will it be the female empowerment Zara we know? Because that's what, when you put Love Me Land out, I was like, yes, that's my Zara Larsson. You came with a crack, you came with a message, and you came with a thing, and you came with female empowerment. And I was like, thank you, Zara Larsson, for doing that.
I think it's going to be a good little mix of everything that I like. So not only like sad songs, but there will be like a little cute ballad on there. It will be definitely songs you can tear up the dance floor to. I would say the overall feeling of it is like upbeat and kind of positive, has that spirit for sure.
But let's talk about your actual single, Wow, which you didn't or you did never intended to be a singer. Is that right?
No.
How did that happen?
Yeah. Like a year and a half ago, I released it after it was on a commercial in the US. And it wasn't really intended to like ever release. We just saw how the numbers on Shazam was going crazy when the commercial was running on TV. So we were like, obviously people are responding just naturally and genuinely to this song without having to like shove it down people's throats. So when they heard it, a lot of people were just like, what is this? I want it. So we thought, wait, let's just put it out on the platform. And then it got synced again to a Netflix movie called Work It, which is a great like dance movie. And the same thing happened. Like the Shazam just went crazy. It was like top 5 in the world, top 5 in the US. And the streams went up like 1,000% or something. And we were just like, what's going on? Like people are responding to it so well without any promotion, any like push from radio or playlisting or something. And we were like, what if we just give it a chance, give it like an honest shot and see how long we can take it, how far it can go.
Why did you never intend to release this song as a single?
Because it was kind of bought by the commercial like a year and a half ago. And for me, it would be a different single because it's very like EDM.
Yes.
Way more than I usually would do. So I'm more in like the pop pocket. And this is a little bit more dancey. So I felt like maybe my single should be just me like rah singing or whatever. But I love that ED. I love the tempo to it. I love the like that whole thing. But I just didn't really think of it at that time as my single. And then ta-da, look at me, here I am. It's really exciting and fun to see how movies or like TV, whatever, when something's on there, it could really just take off.
Yeah.
I do that all the time. Like I Shazam so much from the TV when I see a series or a movie and I love a song. I'm like, what's this, you know?
Okay, can you just tell us a quick what is Wow about? It's a sassy one as well. I love the EDM part, by the way. I love the marshmallow thing on it. So it's really kind of experimental, just as you said.
Definitely.
What is it about?
It's about being with someone that just makes you feel like you are the most treacherous thing in the universe. Like all you got to do, like I said in the lyrics, all you got to do is just look at you and just say, like, wow. And that's wow. I love that because I say that a lot.
Do you remember the last time you felt wow?
I feel like wow when I see a beautiful sunset. I love nature stuff. I'm really in love right now. So, every time I look at him, I'm like, wow. And that is literally the feeling in the song when you really like someone, or when that person says it to you back, like, wow, like I love you, like that feeling is just like, I don't even know what to say. It's just so great.
Yeah, congratulations on your new.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, wish you all the best. Thank you so much for taking your time.
Thank you. Bye.